Welcome to the Golden Square Podcast with your hosts, Linda Scott and Sherilyn Fisher. Are you ready? Because we're starting now.
Hey!
Wait a minute. Linda, who is that handsome young man in the middle right there?
I know, right?
Oh my God.
He is so handsome.
How are you guys?
And I'm supposed to concentrate on the show. I'm supposed to concentrate.
We have to.
You gotta try.
I'm gonna try real hard.
So how everybody doing?
Great.
Great. Can't complain.
Great. So Todd, what kind of day you had today?
I had a great day. I just relaxed. I cleaned, cooked a little bit. A good day.
I'm happy. I'm excited. So, boy, you look mighty handsome right there.
Thank you. I did it for my grandma. Thank you.
You look so handsome.
Thank you. He know what to say, y'all. He know what to say. He want to go ahead and Anyway, but Todd. So Sherilyn, how was your day, babe?
Oh, I had a wonderful day today.
Good.
Just wonderful.
Good.
My babies are all doing good and no runny noses and
That's good.
just really, really good.
Great. So I had a good day.
How was your day?
My day was it was good. It was very good. It was very productive. Actually was upstairs in my lab and I created a couple more designs. But let me tell you the best day that I had. I look forward to waking up this morning, not only for the podcast, but because it was Valentine's Day on yesterday. And I thought about all the scorpions that's gonna be it's gonna be arriving. So
yes.
and I couldn't wait. I couldn't wait to welcome them all in November the look. I said, and I was selfish because I said November the 14th.
9 months from yesterday.
9 months. That's it. We about to have some new scorpions coming in. Whoop, whoop.
I read that and I said, Sherilyn, they say birds of a feather flock together. You need to quit fooling with that girl there because she's crazy.
I enjoyed it. It's so much going on. And I have, we had to offer our condolences to the young man who was killed during the celebration of the Super Bowl parade.
I thought it was a young lady. But whoever, young lady, young man,
that family.
Definitely our condolences. Get well soon to all the ones, especially the children.
Yeah,
all the everyone to get well, but that broke my heart because y'all know how I am about children. That really broke my heart when they said those children, those babies, innocent babies.
Hey, Mom. So, that did me a job too, Sherilyn, just watching all that, and then I was watching CNN. Everybody know that's my favorite channel. Mm-hmm. So I was watching the trial today, and girl, all I can say is, girl, take a deep breath and continue to do what you're doing because you're getting them. You're doing a great job. So we're giving that. But however, listen, everybody, we have a really good
show tonight.
Yes. And Sherilyn and I about health and how can we inform our young kids. That's the purpose of Todd Miller. Yes. How to inform them on being better people. And tonight we have a special guest who we say, listen, you don't have to say a word. I got you. So we need to know what that means. So if our producer would bring on our guest, we can go from there. Hey, Miss Shawn.
Hey, Shawn. How are you?
Great. We can't hear you. Okay,
here we go.
All right.
You got it.
I am fantabulous and happy to be here amongst you. It is an honor and a pleasure to be here. So thank you.
Well, thank you. It's an honor to have you on the show.
Exactly. So, Ms. Shawn, you'll tell us a little about yourself, please.
Absolutely. My name is Shawn Tinsley. I live in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. I am the director and the executive director. I am the executive director and president of HIV Possible. The title of HIV Possible comes from my life story. God has blessed me to turn my wound into my weapon, where he has kept me here on this earth for 34 years with a positive diagnosis. So in our slogan, yes, I am HIV positive, but everyone else is HIV possible. We ask that you know your status, your HIV status, and that's what we're going to talk about today.
Okay. That's now. See, again, Cheryl and Todd. That I know Shawn from many, and a lot of minimal moons ago, but there is something that I never knew about her. Is what she just stated, that she was positive. Correct, Shawn?
Correct. HIV positive. 34 years.
That lets you know that you can't look at me and tell that there is something.
Never know what you've gone through by looking at a person. You're
right. So they always tell you, don't judge that book by the cover.
Amen. So, amen. And I want to give honor and glory to God, because without him, none of this would have been possible. Right. It is he who has kept me.
All right.
He is my everything, my all in all. So I give honor to him, and just know that I am a true follower of Jesus Christ. By the way in the Old Testament, I'm a way follower, and just knowing that I do linkage to Christ in everything that I do. So within HIV Possible, it is linkage to faith first, financial services, and then HIV wellness and health that follows that, and it ties all together.
So Shawn, don't make me shout up in here, okay?
Okay, yeah. But listen, Shawn. Girl, I have so many in my head. I don't even know. Where do we go? Where do we go with this? Hello, everyone. My name is that's my sister and my sister Shawn. Okay, so how do we go about testing ourselves? Let me say that first, because that's the first thing we do is need to be tested. And who should be tested? I don't know.
I'll be happy to answer that question. Everyone needs to be tested to know their status. The moment that you think you're going to become sexually active with your partner, we want you to get tested. So this way, you know your status, and your partner will know their status. So we have many throughout the states. There are many testing centers. I would say if you don't know, you can reach out to your health department first, within your county, your city. And then from there, they would link you. So there are services that can link you. And I'm one of those grassroots organizations that are represented throughout right here in South Florida, the tri-counties of South Florida, which are West Palm, Miami, Miami-Dade, and Broward County. Okay. And what we do is we have organizations of people reach out. I go out to the churches. I speak towards the Abrahamic religions, and understanding that is where our Black heterosexual community is. I represent the Black heterosexual cisgender community, and I ally for my entire LGBTQ plus Black community. Okay. Right. And what that means is my organization, HIV Possible, our organization, HIV Possible, is the only cisgender Black heterosexual led organization here in Broward County.
Wow, that's
what we do is we go out to the churches. We go to the churches. We go to where Black people congregate, Black heterosexuals congregate. We congregate in different areas than our counterparts, which are our MSM, men sleeping with men. You don't really find heterosexual people congregating at the functions that our MSM or our lesbian gay community function. So I ally for that community, but my main service, my main function is the heterosexual Black community, where our numbers are constantly going up, right?
Still in 2024, we're still going up in 2024?
We have surpassed MSM in new transmissions in the heterosexual Black community across the South.
And I think, Shawn, I think that's because people they aren't educated. And I'm so glad you're doing this program so you can educate them, because there's so many people out there who think heterosexuals do not get HIV and AIDS.
That
they
is
still
correct.
have that mindset that that's not a disease that we can get. So we need more people like you in and out of Broward County that can educate these people that, yeah, you too.
You too, absolutely. And to this day, might I add, I have never had anyone in my 34 years walk up to me, even with me being open with my status, that is in any category, has said, "Oh my gosh, I am too." So that's a valid point right there.
Right,
No one has ever said that, because that stigma is still attached to old age.
AIDS, yeah.
AIDS is no longer a thing for us anymore. People are living longer, healthier, and doing better in life. HIV is just a part of me. It's only a part of me. As Miss Linda can tell you, I have many, many titles that follow my name for many years, right? HIV is just a part of me. And so I would say for people to reach out first to the health department if they don't know where to go, and reach out to your community through your doctors in your doctor's offices. Speak to your doctors. This is where we talk to women about white coat syndrome, right? And being able to take that fear off of that and being able to openly speak to your doctor about what you're going through, because at the end of the day, you're the number one expert of you.
Only I was just about to say that the most of us have fear of exposing or thinking that we have whatever it is that we have. I don't care if it's HIV, cancer, or whatever. It's the fear that dominates us, and it stops us from going. And then I'm going to say our peers, not too far of a generation, but then I'm looking at the generation of Todds who don't have fear. Well, let me rephrase it. The fear that they have is that they can't ever get it. It's a not me situation.
Yeah, they're oblivious to it.
Say it again, son. I'm sorry.
So they're oblivious to it.
Yeah,
you're right, Todd.
Right.
That is such a correct statement, Todd, and I'm so glad you brought that up, because we're living in a day and age right now where the population that is mostly targeted for HIV right now is 13 to 29.
Wow.
13 to 29. Miss Linda, I sent you a few stats on what Texas, between Texas, Atlanta, South Carolina, and North Carolina look like. And I wanted you to see that, because HIV Possible, we have chapters in each of those states, right? We just acquired a chapter in Atlanta, Georgia. So I wanted you to see that before I came on, so you could have a better understanding of where we stand as heterosexual Black and Brown community within HIV, what it looks like. We have to realize that our community has many stigmas, not even including HIV. We have stigmas that result back to our history, slavery, right? Where we don't have trust in doctors. Our men don't go to the doctors as much. Nobody. And then we still have that stigma on us of what happens in my house stays in my house.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So instead of us being able to talk about it, reach out about it, we still hold that. And now that mental health has become so prevalent and wide open, you have more people reaching out for mental health, but still nobody's addressing the issue of HIV. And this is what I pose to my churches when I go in and I speak to them. Allow it to start in the pulpit. Just by simply, when you do the congregation prayer, when you're going over sickle cell, diabetes, cancer, heart disease, simply slide HIV in there and allow that word to do the work.
Right.
And we can start there in the churches.
You know, we had a program in school, an after school program, shall I say, an after school program, and I brought in another young lady who had HIV in a group of young ladies, because I wanted them to see that they cannot see.
Correct.
And starting at 13, I didn't know it was 13, that just blew my mind. But starting at 13, how do you want to? I almost said, how do you know about sex? But shoot, they know more than we know.
Yeah, they know.
You know, the media has exposed our children. These phones, these devices that we put in our children's hands for safety and thinking it's protection for them has really become the World Wide Web open to them, because number one, parents are not truly applying filters and restrictions and things like that. And these babies that are coming up are more exposed in this community coming up than you and I. And I'm over 50. I'm going to tell it. I'm blessed to be here 53 years. Thank God for that. But these babies are exposed to way more than we could have ever imagined. And within that exposure comes so many dangers. Where you're looking at children exposed to the sex profiles, people sliding in on them because they're hacking, because they're doing different things. Children are more wiser than we could have ever been. They are.
And another thing, Shawn, is these kids are exposed to this thing, but the parents are not having these conversations in the home.
They're
not talking to these kids. My daughter had, since we said we were going to talk about HIV on the show, I have a 16-year-old daughter, and her and some of her friends was over there, and I asked them, tell me what you know about HIV. I got blank stares, just blank stare. Oh, all they could tell me was, I think that's something you get if you have sex with someone who already has it. Well, that's true, but you need to know a little bit more than that. And they all said at the same time, oh, she going to make us do a report. That's right. All three of you research HIV in your community and come back and tell me what you know, because I want you to know more about it, if that's something you can get if you have sex. So I asked them, what are they teaching you in sex education? Because they take sex education. Use a condom so you don't get pregnant.
Well, I didn't know they even had sex education in school anymore. I thought that was
it's a health class, and they still having sex education in some schools. They're having it in Austin. In Austin, they're having a sex education class.
Wow. Okay. So that's great. Question, Todd, about your peers, and as a young man, because you looking at young ladies and going, oh my God, she's fine. I'm like, so what does she have?
She's cute. She's thick.
Yeah. So she's everything. So you and your boys are sitting around and you guys are discussing the females that you just met and all this kind of stuff. So are you walking around with protection? Because if you don't cover it, there's an issue that you have. How do you know the girl that you looking at and going, she's cute?
Right.
How do you know about her status? Are you all talking about it, or how you
honestly? Can I add one more caveat to that?
Yes.
Are you leaving the protection up to the female, or are you providing protection with yourself? So that part too.
Yeah.
Oh, see, I'm providing protection because I don't have no kids. So that's first things first. Right now, I don't have no kids right now. So that's first things first. But second, I'm a very talkative person, so nothing really awkward to me if you're a female. Like, I'm gonna ask you the questions I need to ask, like when last time you got tested, or like when last time you've been active for real, because these are things I need to know, because I'm not trying to like hurt myself, you know what I mean? But me and my friends, like, normally, like, we don't talk about it as much as we should, you know what I mean? Like, we'll talk about it, we'll brush it off, we'll be like, oh yeah, that's that thing Easy E had or something like that. And then we'll be like, yeah, like, we'll just forget about it and be like, oh, like, they don't do that no more, it don't happen no more like that. Like, everybody got medicine, this and that. But it's like, it's just something that I need to really educate myself more on, for real.
That's why I want to report tomorrow, Todd.
Got you.
I want to report tomorrow, Todd.
Let me tell you, you can go on YouTube and pull up HIV 101. I teach HIV 101. I teach language matters, because there's a whole language that goes along with understanding HIV, where we want to make sure that we're addressing people as people first language, right?
Let me ask you this, Shawn. Yeah. What is HIV 101? Because we all got, whatever we start, it's always a 101. What is HIV 101?
HIV 101 gives you the very basics of transmission of HIV, ways that you can contract and you cannot contract. Some people still think that you can contract HIV by sitting on the toilet, by drinking behind someone. by swimming with someone, somebody having their menstruation, and maybe leaving blood on the toilet seat. You know, sometimes women, especially our younger women, don't look behind them when their menses is on, and they may have little drips here or there. I've seen a young lady come screaming out of the bathroom because she didn't pay attention where she was about to sit, and touched the young lady's blood, screaming out of the lady's room in a restaurant.
Wow.
She had no idea, but it was that ignorance that still is that is portrayed with the old AIDS syndrome that took out so many people. But now with education, with the medications that have come along, AIDS is no more. You're looking at now a transformation of going from AIDS to now it's just HIV stages 1, 2, and 3.
Wow.
Right.
So Shawn, can you tell us a little bit about the different stages? What happens in the different stages?
Right. So the stage 1 is when you contract HIV. Either you had symptoms of some sort. It's stage 1 where there are no additional comorbidities or anything with it like that. But you need to know your status. HIV can live within your system for a long time without it being shown. We want to get people tested, and that's why I'm so glad in Florida they have adopted a opt-out session when you come into the hospitals, when you come into the emergency rooms, you have to actually opt out of the testing now rather than opting in. So unless you say, "Oh, I don't want that test," they're going to give it to you. They're going to administer that test on you. Right. So that's HIV. HIV stage 1 is just that right there.
Right.
Stage 2 are when you start having comorbidities behind it, additional illnesses on top of HIV. Right. So now you're looking at different things like you're easier susceptible because you're not taking your medications now. If you're taking your medications and following what the doctors are telling you to do, you can live a long and healthy, beautiful life. I'm living proof of that. I am absolutely living proof of that. 34 years, I'm what they call now aging with HIV and a long-term survivor.
Wow.
And we're aging into Social Security. That's another thing.
So would you be able okay, golly. See, there's some questions. So when you said Social Security, so that made me think about insurance.
Yes.
Are you able to get insurance?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And then not only that, we have so many programs that are geared to taking care of those that have transmitted HIV. We have Ryan White Heart Services. You have Ryan White that takes care of your primary doctors, that gets you linked to, different like food banks and clothing and housing. There's so many programs out here for people that are dealing with HIV to be able to seek help and receive the care that they need and be able to put the costs, to the back of their mind. So that is one of the major things. So when you're going from, let's say, Ryan White Services, and I'm also a licensed insurance agent, so we'll touch that too, so I get to see it from both sides.
Put another hat on. Put another hat on, girl.
All those hats on, Shawn.
Just stack up my crown because I got my crown.
Yes. But we appreciate every hat that you're wearing, baby. Every hat.
It is so important to understand that the difference is that when Ryan White Services, you're talking about people that are 400% and below of the federal poverty level that the federal government sets into a standard. So Ryan White Services covers those that are not so much able to financially provide the services or be able to get the medications. The medications are thousands and thousands of dollars.
I was just going to ask you, was that medication expensive?
Medication is very, very expensive. I'm what they call the old dinosaur. So from the time that I got diagnosed back in '89 to just about last year, well, actually to last year, I was on my old regiment, which was a part of the AZT status, where they had all of these medications and they started to dwindle them down as the research went forward. I was still on Kaletra and Epsicon, and every time I would tell somebody, they'd be like, well, you know, there's new medications. Like, nope. Said it's working. I'm leaving it alone.
Wow.
I'm leaving it alone. I just
got
changed
old and lousy is better than new and improved.
Come on. And that's where my thought process was, until I had to understand that those old medications weren't fully serving my body as best they could, because it brought about other situations where the newer medication has protections against that. And now we're in a day where you can come down to one pill a day, and you can also get an injection. You can get an injection where you don't even have to take a pill. So the technology is there and has been invested into the medication. Right. And with that being done, you know, the advancement in the medication has grown so much that we have enough out here to take care of everybody, from the diagnosis. It's better to get people into care and treatment immediately and get them to a non-detectable status. And I'm quite sure you guys have seen the U equals U sign all over Houston and Texas.
Right.
U equals U means undetectable, untransmittable.
Transmittable. Yes.
Right. So when we have that virus suppressed, and we have your TC cells where they need to be, which counts you at a suppressed status. You're living a normal life.
So your normacy. How about women who we say you say undetected? Are they still able to give birth? Let me say that. And the child is
yes. So now that the medications have come along, childbirth, vaginal childbirth versus C-sections are now on the rise. We have children now being born that are non-detectable from birth.
That is fantastic.
But saying that part, let's go back a little bit.
Okay.
Let's look at all of the children that were born with HIV.
Yes.
They're Todd's age now. They're coming up. They're in their 20s and 30s, and no one is addressing them. They need to be addressed because they have a special set of needs that those that have received the transmission diagnosis, they know nothing about. They have lived with this their entire lives. So that's one of the sectors that I make sure that I delve into. And Todd, I'm so glad you're here, because as you guys go on and understand, some of these babies coming up have been taking medication and didn't know why, or maybe they hadn't even been taking medication, and when it reached a certain level, they needed medication. You're coming up with this age range now that have surpassed, so
for those who young people that didn't know or is not taking medication, and at this stage now, 25.
It's true.
I'm not understanding. Well,
some people can live with the virus inside of them and be completely fine, and that's what we're finding out is a lot that is happening with so many people. You have certain people out there that have never been on medication, and their body can provide the antibodies to keep it suppressed. As long as the virus is suppressed, you're at a good standing, but it comes along with communication. Regardless of what, you need to be able to verbally express your status, or if you can't verbally express it, let's go get tested together.
People would rather not know which is.
Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah, go ahead. Announce that, Todd.
Yeah, it says so many people rather not know, which is not okay, and that's so people like in my age round, my age round, they'll be like, oh, like I don't get tested, I know I'm clean, I bathe every day, I wash my teeth, like that has nothing to do with it, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like we just like my generation really needs to. I really feel like we need to double down on it for real, like you know what I mean? I really like dive into it for real, like just be way more educated than we are on it.
So how could you help your generation, saying from tonight forward? What would you do differently?
I could just really just try to help spread awareness, like just all the things she's teaching me right now and saying right now, just pretty much like piggyback off it and like just help people, like ask people like, when the last time you got tested? Like, Do you know your status? Like, are you okay? Like, this stuff you need
And
to know.
Todd, that's it. You just said it.
That's
Do you know your
Todd.
status?
Good
That's
job.
it. Do you know your status?
Status, yes.
Take a test. Know your
Right.
status.
That's
You know,
it.
for everybody out there, because either way that it goes, whether you're positive or you're possible,
Right.
you have an avenue to go down. We can
Right.
get you into care and treatment, or we can get you on prevention. There are drugs out there now called PrEP,
Right.
which is
Yes.
right.
Yes.
PrEP is what you take it goes into your body like a shot or a pill a day, and it will protect you from contracting the virus. And then you have PEP, which is like the plan B after sex within 72 hours.
Right.
We can get you linked, but you need to know where your starting point is.
Right.
That's the whole understanding where you start. HIV is no longer a death sentence. There is life after the diagnosis.
That's right.
But we need to have a major starting point. And the way to do that is simply taking a test either once a year or twice a year, especially more if you're changing partners. Right? You're not protecting yourself. Now we have come so far as we have female condoms that are out here. You have the standard male condoms, and now we have female condoms that have been approved and are distributed all over throughout. You can Google on your phone HIV testing sites or where can I pick up condoms, through, and I'm quite sure they have little drop-offs all throughout the counties and in the cities that we're in, especially in the inner cities. We have them all over to help us be protected and stay protected.
And Cliff Carson,
yes.
Cliff Carson said to piggyback on Todd, get tested often, even if you're in a committed relationship.
Yes.
Todd, you know what's going to happen.
Sherilyn, before you go to the next thing, we're going to take a quick commercial. We'll be right back, but hold that thought, Sherilyn. Hold that thought.
Okay,
don't go away. Matter of fact, just write down your questions and we got you.
Gotcha.
Hey, this is your girl, Linda Scott. I am here to introduce you to Linda S. Jury 1426. Now, some of you know me, some of you don't. But if you don't know me, get to know me. Check out and scan the QR code below. Look at the inventory. I made this. God created. I put it together. See you soon.
Oh, beautiful, Linda.
Thank you. So
beautiful.
Sherilyn, what
look good.
What I was going to say to Todd is, Todd, when you go around your young people and you start talking about getting tested or whatever, they're not going to want to hear. But trust me, they are listening, and they're going to say, "Go on, man, we don't want to hear that. We don't hear that." But I want to tell you, if you help one person, just one person, you've done your job. So don't stop. When they tell you they don't want to hear it and they kind of egg you on, don't stop. Just continue putting that message out there to those young people.
Absolutely. And can I say, Clifton Carr, that's my baby. That's my son. And I'm so glad he tuned in to support his mama. So, hey, son, I'm so proud of you. And Todd, he's your age. He's around your age. He's 28 now.
So what is a good age to talk about it with your child? That's a great question. I was going to ask you that. Like, what age should we be like bringing this on? Like, I didn't learn about HIV for real until I was, in high school. Like when I was maybe I knew about it, but didn't learn about it until my senior year maybe. So I really wasn't really educated on it. Like I went the first 17 years not knowing about this, know about Magic Johnson and Easy E for real. That's all I knew about it, but nothing in depth about it. So what age is a good age to tell your child?
That is an amazing question, and let me say this first. Dr. Baywa last week, she's right there in the process with it. We need to start educating our babies at grade school age.
Okay.
At grade school age, because again, the technology is out here. If we're not talking to our children, one thing about Black people, I will just put this out there. Even as Christians, there are the things that we don't talk about is sex and money. And those are the most things that we're curious about. So we need to start making it a normal conversation in the home. Exactly. Talking to our children, girls and boys, about sex. what happens when you engage in sex too young. If you have the biblical sense behind it, apply the biblical principles. If you don't, but just saying don't do it, my
It's
sex
not
talk when my
enough.
mother talked to me was you have sex, you get pregnant, you're out of here. That was all I got.
You got that speech too?
Come on.
That's our good. That's our generation.
That was
Whereas
it.
we're
But
here.
now,
Wait. I was gonna say we are here for Todd and them, but I'm not that great grandmother that's gonna be sitting around babysitting. You had this baby, take care of it. So, but that is so awesome. We all had that, and we have to go back to it with these kids today, because I promise you, these children know more than me, and I'm like,
exactly.
what?
And they can handle it. They can handle it.
Yeah.
Especially if it's taught from home with mom and dad, where you're surrounded with love. They can handle it. If you think they can handle this new math and all of this other stuff, these babies can handle it. So we have to put more faith in ourselves and understanding that they can handle this conversation. And
Vaughn just said, producer, put that back up. Parents don't want to believe their child is having sex. I wanted to believe it. I had 3 boys and I had 2 boys and a daughter, and I definitely said that. Even with my nieces and nephew, I'm the auntie. Come and talk to me, because I'm gonna tell you the truth.
That's right.
I'm a dad that might sugarcoat a couple of things, but auntie gonna tell you what's going on. And then I tell Todd and his other cousins, come to Granny and tell Granny what's going on, because if you don't tell me, and if you lie to me, and I'm gonna have to tell the judge, well, he lied to me. I can't believe it, but I need to know what you're doing and why you think that is good. You can't say, oh no, don't go do this, because that's when they go do it.
That's when they do it.
So if you sit and talk to them about life, this is what's gonna happen when these things go and take place. Mom not gonna always be here. Auntie not always going to be here. So I need you to know this right now. And with your generation, with so much stuff going on, it's crazy. It's crazy. We got to talk to our kids. We have to educate them before someone else educate them
the wrong way.
The wrong way.
And I want to add this part in there. Vonnie, that was an amazing question. Thank you for being here. Von is a part of the HIV Planning Council here in Fort Lauderdale in Broward County. He's actually our vice chair. So Vonnie, thank you for being here. It's so important that I have my community support and my family support. So to everybody supporting me, thank you all. It means the world to me.
Thanks, Vaughn, for joining us.
Thank you.
Yes, Sandy, Cassandra, Brittany, Gretel, all of my community is here that do this work with me. It takes a village to do this work.
Absolutely.
It really does. And my village is here with me. My son, I have a strong village behind me here in Broward County. And this is how we're able to do this work. And we're working towards getting those numbers down, but you can't do it without the Black community.
That's right.
We have to talk to each other. Right.
Well, I just saw Ramona made a statement that she said she put them in education class, in a sex education class, and then she made them teach it in the community. What?
That's great. That is great. Awesome. That is great.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And that's what we need. We don't need to just tell them. We need them to reply back to what they understand and what's the ins and the outs. What do they get out of that conversation that you have?
One of the things that I did when it came on the spur of the moment when we knew we was going to talk about HIV, when I asked Gabby and her friends what did they know. But I said, but wait. Before you answer me, I called each one of them parents and made sure it was okay that I talked to their kids about HIV. They all said, yes, tell them, yeah. Oh, yeah, Miss Fisher, go ahead. Yes. We trust you and whatever. But one of the things all 3 of those kids said was, Magic Johnson has HIV. I said, that's the only thing you know about that? Yeah, that's the only person we know.
Everybody knows.
It's a whole lot of people around them that has HIV that they don't know about. But they told me, but that's a rich man's disease because he played basketball. He was popular and he had a whole lot of women. I said, that's not true. So, but I'm not going to have a whole lot of women, and I'm not going to have a whole lot of boyfriends, but you can still get HIV because it only
But they only need one.
It only
takes one. It only took one.
So we really need to talk and educate our kids.
Right. By you not knowing your status, that one person, and you're not. So these kids today, and it is fortunate that Todd do talk because he got from his grandmother. But anyway,
well, that's what I wanted to say, Ms. Linda. We're looking at the side of it where we can communicate it, right?
Yeah.
But when you really take a look at it, you have a lot of children that are in domestic violence situations, incest situations. People are doing, molesting children. Women are getting raped. These things right here also lead to HIV, where somebody is forcing themselves on you, and you don't have that voice. Right? You don't have that protection there. And this is where we come in as grassroots organizations to be able to talk. Where you as a parent can't talk about it or what have you. Make sure that these babies have someone that they can trust in community to be able to go and say, hey, this happened to me.
Right. That's Dr. Glover last week. And that's your program. Todd, you had a question?
Yeah, I have a question because your energy is so vibrant. You seem like such a God-fearing woman. Like I just have like how can you just tell me like the obstacles you overcame and like how'd you overcome them? And for the people like my age, like people are going through it, like tell them like what they can do to make themselves feel okay and stuff like that and be positive as you.
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much, Todd. That is an amazing question. And I thank you for asking that because I had to grant myself grace.
Right.
Number one, right? And I had to come into an understanding of knowing to who I belong to. And within that, accepting the assignment that God gave me. This is not a journey that I've chosen on my own. I told God he would never get HIV from me. I'll talk about my domestic violence all day. I'm a generational domestic violence survivor. I'll talk about that all day, but I'm told God I'll never talk about HIV. And he released that off of me. And guess what? With him releasing that off of me, there is no condemnation in Christ. There is nothing that anybody can say to me to this day that can hurt. My skin is tough enough. That's where this topic came from. Baby, you ain't got to say a word. I can handle it for you.
Love it.
You don't have to say a word. My skin is built tough enough to be able. God equipped me for this position. He trained me up. He raised me up in the situations, everything that I came through, the good, the bad, the ugly, the indifferent. God raised me up. It was training me along the way. I don't know whether to call myself a young David or a young Saul because all through God was there. He was there. And what I thought was detrimental to me, God has turned that into something to empower and be the voice for others until they identify with their voice. We don't have to live in silence. With suicide rates can go down. Most of us, do you realize suicide amongst men 25 to 55 are higher than they have ever been? Our men are dealing with things in silence, and some of it is, yes, it's HIV. Dealing with families, going out and having affairs and not getting tested, bringing things back home to your wife. Your wives had no choice in it. You have men all over that are doing things that we as women don't even think that they would be involved in, or we as women are doing things that our men don't think we would be involved in. But it's happening. These are the real conversations that we need to have. This is what we need to talk about, because all it takes is one time.
That's right.
You're not only sleeping with that one person, you're sleeping with that person and everybody else that person slept with.
That's right. That's right.
Right. So when we take that into account, my God, my mission is so strong. God has set me on a mission and a platform to touch every person that is either living with or affected by HIV. And baby, that's all of us. That is
right.
Not tell me, not one Black person. And I challenge any Black person to say that I have not been affected by HIV, whether it be a mother, a cousin, an uncle, a friend. So somebody
that's right.
HIV or died from AIDS. So baby, we're here to stop it, and you can come to me because my skin is tough enough. God will help me.
I can handle it, baby. I can go to the doctor with you. I can ask the questions for you.
I'm with Sandy. Come on now. Come on. Break it on in.
Preach.
So yeah. Do all of this together. I'm not afraid of the white coat. I will sit down. You tell me what you want to say, and I'll say it for you. I can go into the churches and talk. I can give you scripture that goes along with what I'm saying about HIV. We can no longer teach abstinence because abstinence is not the way. It has shown over and over. Teenage pregnancies, all kinds of things happening. Rape. Babies are being molested at the age of 3 and not understanding and having a mental to deal with it. And HIV is being passed along through family lines.
This was a good question. What did she? I mean, a statement. Put it back up, Toya, please. A lot of children didn't ask to be sexual. Girl, you said a mouthful right there.
And then when you were talking about the churches do not talk about HIV. It's not HIV. It's not in our churches, and that's the main place where it needs to be.
And that's what I do. I go into the
started with the pastor. I mean, I didn't say that. I mean,
I go into the churches and I get in with the gatekeepers of the churches and I become familiar. And I want to thank Brittany that she spoke up. That's another one of my village family right there. We are dealing with,
we're giving so much.
I put it this way. It used to be said, what happens in the pulpit goes to the pews and hits the streets.
Yes.
So when you look at it from that aspect, we still believe in the church, but the church is a hospital for the soul. And if you're not getting what you need for your soul, that's where it starts. So if we sitting on the pews and we're not hearing nothing mentioned about HIV, when you say it, we don't feel that it's a safe place that I can speak to you about. I can't come to you about it. So that's why I say, put it in the commune prayer, in the common prayer. Just simply say HIV. Were you talking about diabetes, sickle cell, heart disease, cancer? Add HIV in there, and that'll open the door.
And also, it's so much. Also, when you do that in a prayer, you let that person who's sitting out there that you don't know sitting out there, they talking about me. They praying for me.
That's right.
Nobody prays for me in the church until they hear that particular status, HIV, and for all of them, you touch somebody. You don't know who you're touching if you don't put it in, because you can't look at me and say, oh yeah, she got that. You can't look at me now. You can't do it. You can't. You have to know your congregation. You have to know the community that you're living in, or preaching in, not living, but preaching in and teaching the word, to know that, hey, I'm over here in your Fort Lauderdale area, 311, 3311. That girl, the preacher got to mention it. He got
right.
Because that area is strong.
No matter what the area code, they need to mention it, Linda. It's everywhere.
Oh, but I know she was in Fort Lauderdale. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So
and we have enough resources where HIV possible. We're linked to peer training, where we can bring you in and get you state certified.
Wow.
We can get you state certified as a peer. We're working right now with the HIV Planning Council and working within the care curriculum within the 4 pillars of the HIV EHE, which is ending the HIV epidemic. We are working with the EHE in ways to be able to get more peers into the doctor's offices, because one thing you need is somebody that you can relate to. Right? Relation to a situation is everything. If I come to you and you haven't been where I have been or walked in my shoes, you cannot fully represent me. And that's where a trust factor comes in. We have to be able to trust each other. That's why you have doctors out here that address everything. If you're dealing with cancer and I've never dealt with cancer, you wouldn't feel comfortable talking to me about what I wouldn't understand chemotherapy. I wouldn't understand what you go through with losing your hair and being sleepy all the time and druggy all the time. I wouldn't be able to relate with that. That's why they put counselors that have been there, done that, and can teach you. And that's what we're doing with HIV here in Broward County, in the Tri-Counties, and all over. Because not only does HIV possible live here in in South Florida, but we have branches, North Carolina, South Carolina, St. Thomas, and now ATL. And Miss Linda, you know I'm coming for Texas. I got a whole.
And you know what? I want you to come because
Come
I
on.
already have, somebody
I'm
who I
a
want
proud
you to introduce you to.
member of the Potter's House. And baby, when I tell you, I am a proud member of the Potter's House. My Potter's House community family, my cousins, they listened to me today when I said I was going to be on the Square podcast, and they listened and they
posted the golden.
The golden, yes, the golden Square podcast. I'm sorry. They listened and they took it to heart and they understood that this is a mission for all of us.
All of us.
And we need more people out here to be able. So, Todd, I thank you for that question. Baby, this is nothing but the grace of God. And I ask him before I speak anywhere, Father God, decrease me so that you may be increased, that they can hear from you what it is you put in me to say, Father God. This is not me by myself alone. I stand with the community. I stand with a family. And most of all, I stand with God before me. With him before me, who should I be afraid of? No one. I know for whose I am and who I belong. And baby, I'm the apple of God's eye. When you come against me, you come against the forces of the living God. You will not, like I said, I ain't gonna go there.
Go ahead, girl. Listen, this is what they need to hear. This is
because they need to hear this. They need to hear this.
Yes.
So many. You are bold. You're standing out bold. You're and so many people are ashamed. Have this disease and ashamed. They're living in the closet. That they're scared to tell anybody. They see you being bold with this, and you're gonna make somebody else come out and
exactly.
And say it so they can help someone else too.
If we can touch one tonight that says, you know what? In Christ, there is no condemnation. That is in the Bible. What that means is, what I'm saying is, there is no shame in Christ. He is the covering for everything. His blood testified on the cross that you are covered under the blood. So when you allow yourself grace and know to whom you belong and who you are within him, baby, you can stand against the world. All I need is Jesus Christ before me, and I'll go to battle for him. How the words say, teach my fingers to war and my hands to battle, and I'm ready to go there.
Well, the whole reasoning for Cheryl and I doing the podcast is for opportunities as this, and to bring the people in to talk about what we have going on in the community and how can we help. And even though we have people who as I've had the audience to say, hey, I can't type as fast, I want to say this, say that, but we say put it in the parking lot. When you put it in the parking lot, we're going to come back and we're going to read it and we're going to get answers for your questions. Dirk, it's been a positive.
Dirk.
That's what's. See, I knew.
See, we need people like Dirk to speak out to let us know.
Yeah, baby, come on.
Dirk is
Thank God for your life, sir. Thank God for your life.
And you again, you would look at this joker so handsome. You know what?
Yes, Lord.
You would not look at him and say that. And I'm so glad that he's proud enough to make this announcement.
My goodness.
That's what we need, because there are some people that he is helping. And just like you just gave the opportunity for people to come out and say, hey, this is what I am. How can I get help? Todd, what do we need to do first? Know your status.
Know your status.
That's where we have to get to our kids. Yes. We have to get to our kids to let them know that it's okay to come to Miss Cheryl and Todd. It's even okay to come to you, man. So I know you was on this. I don't know my status. How can I get it? And you're going to say, hey, here's the information.
Go to the clinic.
Yeah.
You can go to your doctor. You can go to the clinic. You can call the health. We even have home testing kits. We have home testing kits now that I give out when I go and speak at the different churches. I have a box of home testing kits that, hey, you can come to me privately and take this in your home. And guess what? If you choose to call me, I'm here for you. I can get you, like I stated, I can get you to services for a positive diagnosis, or I can get you into prevention for a negative diagnosis. But basically what I'm saying, whether you're positive or you're possible, baby, we got services for you.
That's it.
We
She
need
said,
to stop
"Each
this
one
for
teach
our
one."
grandchildren. HIV has to come to an end with no more diagnosis. I'm fighting for our grandchildren. I'm fighting for
Right.
our sons. I'm
Right.
fighting for our unborn babies that are not here yet. I want to live in a society where HIV is, my kids won't have to worry about that plight over their head anymore.
Right.
And
And
that's what
we
we're
so
fighting
thank
for.
you. We thank you for fighting. And oh my God.
One
I know we're
one
gonna have
thing,
to bring you
one
back.
thing I want to stress
Go ahead.
that Shawn said is don't wait till you have a symptom, because HIV can lay dormant in your body for
Right.
years.
Yes,
Yes.
Just get tested anyway, just because.
Right.
Just go to the doctor and say, I just want to be tested just because. Just
Yeah,
because.
just because.
Yeah.
Just because.
Just
I need to know my
because.
status.
that's
Exactly.
it.
I
So
need.
we have 5
Yeah.
minutes to the end of the show, ladies. And this has been so
Oh.
interesting. Don't want to step. Shawn, we're going to have you come on again, because I can tell you have a lot more to say.
Yes.
We need 2 housekeeping things we need to do.
I would
Shawn,
love
we need
to.
for you to tell us where we can reach you. If anybody have any questions, where they can reach you for questions.
Well, number one, you can call me anytime. So my phone number is 803-297-6966. You can reach me anytime, day or night. Outside of that, if you want to email me, you can email me at hivpossiblelife@gmail.com. From there, I'm here in Broward County. And you know what? And just speaking of that, reach out to your local HIV PC councils. Every county, every city has a HIV planning council. They are there, they're willing and available. You can call your local health department, and they will connect you with the right party. So if you don't know where to start, you can start with your doctor and the health department. Know your status. That is the most important thing that we can preach right here today. And if you don't, call me and you tell me where you are. And guess what? If I don't know, we'll put it in the parking lot and I'll find somebody that knows. We'll get you an answer. Because one thing that we are dedicated in doing is making sure that we provide accurate information to you. And if we need to hold your hand to get you there, we can do that as well.
And they can reach you also, Shawn, on Facebook at...
Yes, I'm sorry, I left that out. It's Shawn Hall Tinsley.
Yes.
And the HIV possible page is coming. I'm still working on it.
Okay. All right. And
Linda, remind our audience of our contest.
Oh, okay, right. No, Shawn, we got to have you back. But listen, everybody, we need a slogan for the Golden Square podcast. So help us create a slogan, and you'll win a prize. Now, we've come up with the prize as being a SPAR day. Men are women. So let's do this. So whoever wins, I want to go with you. But help us to create a slogan, and let's see who wins. Now, we got some pretty good interest, some statements in, slogans in already. So come on. We got until the 28th of February. I think that's the last week, 29th, or whatever the last Thursday is. I think it's the 28th. So we look forward to reading your slogan. So that's it. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel as also.
Like and subscribe. Like us.
And ladies and gentlemen, can I just thank you all for being bold enough and brave enough to have this conversation. So I greatly appreciate you. I greatly appreciate this space and this opportunity to be able to speak openly about what I have dealt with and what I do not want anybody else to have to go through in life again with new transmissions. We want to stop new transmissions. So I thank you. And to my community and my family here, I thank you guys all for the love and the support. And it takes a village. And we will accomplish what God has set us on the mission to do. It will be accomplished.
And Shirley and I welcome you at any given time. If we need to make some changes, just let us know, because we need to be informative to all our people at all given time. And we just need to do what God has placed in our heart. And that's to bring people on, such as yourself, to help our community to grow. We may not be here but we want to know that we fed Todd and his generation the opportunity to grow. So we thank you for sitting in and sharing your information with us. So,
and I'm happy to come back. I will be. You call me and let me know, and we'll be right here for you. We are right here. So thank you for that.
Oh, you're more than welcome.
So welcome.
We're looking forward to bring me in.
Dirk D. Richardson.
Oh, Dirk, you know
Dirk.
Oh, yes.
You will, Dirk. Thank you.
Yes. We most definitely would do so. And you better be ready because we're gonna bring you and Shawn in together.
That's right. Wow, and that would be great.
Would be amazing.
That's a fantastic show.
Yes.
Amazing. Yes. Amazing.
Oh my God. Thank you. Shawn, I want to thank you because I had not known.
Go ahead,
I had not known you were coming on the show. I never would have thought to ask them young people what they knew about HIV.
My God.
I never would have thought to ask them.
Keep asking.
Everything else, but I never would have thought to
keep asking them. Ask them all.
I'm going to share those reports with you.
Disciple them.
Has to end, but listen, we'll see you all on next Thursday. We'll be talking about domestic violence. So, come on, Ask Duvall. You don't want to miss it. Thank you again, everybody, for your time. Good night.
Thank you.
Good night.